completed all the, I mean, topics. Like we have loaded the data, we have created all the objects, and we have done all the necessary steps. Like for the performance tuning, we have created aggregates, compression, and roll up. We have seen, and now there is a we have installed the data flows in business content. So that is the modeling part. And after modeling, we have to go a step further and automate the processes. We cannot do it manually every time. We cannot load manually every time. So for that purpose, we have to automate the processes. Once we create something, we will automate it, and loading will happen in a timely manner, and we can schedule the loading in proper, give a time slots, and we can schedule the loading according to the time slot. So for that purpose, we use process chains. Process chains are used to automate the processes. So in order to create a process chain, you can go to RSPC. RSPC is the transaction code for the process chain. Here you can see this is the RSPC, or you can either navigate from modeling. In 7.3 it is available, or else you have to go to RSPC in 7.0 transaction. So you have to create the application component, just like the application component and info areas we create. In order to arrange and sort the process chains, we have to first create an application component. You can see this is our application component, and we haven't created any process chain yet. You have to right click on the component and create process chain. First of all, we will discuss, before creating this process chain, we will discuss about the process chains. So process chains are used to automate the processes, and there are different kinds of process chains. Different kinds of processes are available in process chains. So we have master data, we have transaction data. In master data, we have text, attributes, and hierarchies. So for each of them, the process is different. For example, I am showing you master data text, which is first, which is a simple. For any process chain, it will have a start variant. So basically, this is how you do process change. You have to add the process start variant, and then for scheduling purposes, then you have to add the process load data to PSA for in order to load data to PSA, and you have to add the process to load the data to the info object, which is a data target. So by using this process chain, we can load the data in daily or monthly or weekly basis, and we can do the process chain. We can automate the process in this way. This is for the master data text process. For master data attributes, you have to do the same start variant, load data to the PSA, which is data target, attribute change run. So this is the process you add additionally. First of all, you do start variant and you will load data to the PSA. You will add this process and you will add the load data to the info object, and then you will add the attribute change run. So attribute change run is the activation process. For example, once you load the data to the master data info object, you have to activate the data. For example, data is generally the data is in M version. You have to change it to the A version. So when you load the data will be in the modified version. You have to activate the data with the help of attribute change run. So master data should be activated, and for that the process is attribute change run. That is for the master data attributes. And for the hierarchy, you will have start variant, You have to add hierarchy attribute change run. So that is about the hierarchy process chain. Now we'll see how to load transaction data. So generally we have a transaction data process chain every day loading data. So here you will have a start variant. You will have a I've started somewhere. Roller. So here you can see we have first created a start variant. Start variant is created in every process chain because it will have scheduling options. We have created the load data to the PSA process. In this process, you will load the data to the PSA with the help of this process. And you have load data to the DSO process. For example, when we have a process DSO, we load the data to the DSO with the help of this process, and then we have to activate the DSO. We have a separate process for this, and then we will delete the indexes of the info cube before loading the data to the info cube. We will create this process, and then you have to load the data to the cube. This process has to be created, and then you will do the roll up of aggregates. Generally, roll up of aggregate is enough. You can add the initial fill of aggregates as well. When you create the new aggregates, those have to be filled as well. So you can create initial fill of aggregates as well. You can create compression, and you can create DB statistics. So whenever you load the data, all these activities will happen automatically. So that is how the process chain is created. Now we will see how to create a process chain.
Shahid, I understand it's not advisable to always compress the data. Is that true?
We have to compress the data in a real time most of the times, like for the, I mean, huge data. If you have a bigger volume of data, then you compress the data for the performance reasons. So what will happen is there will be lot of requests, 10, 20, 30, 40 requests. So in order to collapse, it means you in InfoCube, there will be data will be stored according to the request ID wise. So if you compress the data, request ID will become zero. It means all the data will be consolidated, right? So it can be aggregated. It can further be aggregated, so it will be good for the performance. For that purpose, we create compression, and for inventory, it is mandatory to create compression, to do compression of the data, because you may even get wrong values if you don't compress the data in inventory, because we have non-cumulative key figures in inventory. So it is always suggested to compress the data for the inventory. So I'm going to create a billing data. You have to first create a start variant before you can create any process chain. You can see we have in start variant we have direct scheduling or using meta chain or API. In direct scheduling, you can see you have immediate date and time after job and after event at operation mode. We can create immediate. In scheduling, we have immediate. First of all, we have direct scheduling, two options in start variant, that is direct scheduling and using meta chain or API. In direct scheduling, we have immediate, date and time, after job, after event at operation mode. When you create immediate, it means that whenever you manually click on execute, it will directly will start loading the data. Start process chain will trigger, so that is called immediate. And when you set the date and time for the process chain and you set the periodic values, it will be loaded according to the date and time and you have set. And if you have if you set the after job, for example, if you go to the SM37 and you create a job in SM37, say for example, you have created a job with the name with this name in SM37, and you go to the tab after job, and you have to give this name in the after job. Once you paste this name in the after job and schedule it, then whenever you execute the job, after that job executed, after this job completed, your process chain will trigger. It will start executing. Your process chain will start executing. So that is called after job. Just like that, you have to go to the SM and create after event. In order to create an event, you have to go to SM64 and create an event. And you can have the this event name. For example, you have created an event with the name of that PRC event. So you have to give the event name here so that you can trigger your process chain after the event. So these are the options we have. And for the API, we have a functional module. Name of the API is so this is the API name, RSPC API change start. You can execute this API. So these are the options. These are available in start variant. If you use the API, you have to execute that API there. So here we have went to the selections and we do the immediate, and you save it. Here you can see our process chain is there. Now we are creating a process chain. So we have a start variant. You can see there are three modes. One is checking view and one is log view. So you can see here in a log view you will have all the logs. For example, if you execute the process chain, then it will have either this, success or failed status, all those statuses will be saved here with the timing and all, everything. Whatever activity you do will be saved in the log view. And you can see either today's or yesterday's or 1 month. By giving the option, you can see the dates. In planning view, we have to create a process chain. So in general services, you will have the process chain, options to uh, add and or XOR, ABAP program, and remote process chains like that. These options will be available. Interrupt process chain. Interrupt process chain is used to interrupt the process chain or to delay the process chain a bit. Like that, these processes are available in general services. Load process and post processing is this is where we normally add the processes from. You have execute info package, and you have read PSA and update data targets, hierarchy, update DSO, DTPs, etc. All these processes are we use for the load process and post processing. And data target administration has delete indexes, generate indexes, and aggregates, initial fill, and roll up of aggregates, compression, activate DSO. All these options are available in data target administration. So now we will see which one to load. So here we have loaded few info cubes, and for the COPA we have loaded one, and for the generic data sources we use, we have loaded one data flow. So we will go with the billing IC. Okay, so this is what we have loaded, and we'll check whether we have data here. We don't have any data. Look at the info cube as well. There's no data. You can keep delta process chains or full update process chains as delta processes or full update info packages in the process chain. Initialization you have to do. For example, you have execute info package. You have to drag and drop the execute info package, and here you have to click on F4 and search for the info package. Here the info package technical name is this. So I will copy this and I will paste it there. So I got a info package. Click that, continue. So here this info package has bought automatically a DTP. So this DTP is going to ZSTPLG, which is a data store object, ZSTPLG. So if we don't want, we can delete it. We can remove link. Click on the link and we can remove link. But we have to add this data flow anyway. So generally, system identifies the few processes. So it will bring them, and now we can keep it, or we can delete it, and we can add some other process if we want. But that is the data flow, so we have to keep this. And then I will drag the data store object activation. So I have to select the let's create activate DSO. And give the data store object here and give the name of the data store object. You have to give F4 and then search for your data source, data store object, transfer selections. So your activate DSO is ready. Here you see action only when it is successful, only when the, I mean, when the data is erroneous as well, and always. So you can either use always successful or erroneous. It depends on the requirement. But normally we choose successful only when the previous process is successful, then only we have to go ahead. We have to choose this. And now we will create delete indexes. You have to give the object and F4. You can see the cube's name. I copied the cube's name there and I am searching for that. So it has got delete indexes and generated indexes. So I will take the link, remove the link from delete and generate. I want to keep it for later. So here I have to load the data first to the info cube. Here you have to give the start variant. You have to connect the start variant to the process, right? And now what I will do is to drag the DTP. This time the DTP is for the info cube. Last time the DTP, before we added a DTP which is for DSO, it was automatically added. Now we have a DTP for InfoCube here. This InfoCube we need to load. So I will copy this DTP. You can see 990 or 99OG5. Just copy it DTP.
Hello, Shahid.
Hello.
Yeah, okay.
So this is the DTP we want to add. So you can see we are loading the data to the cube with the help of the DTP. And then we can create the roll-up of aggregates for the cube. We can create aggregates and so in so for example, if we create aggregates in future, we have to again add roll-up of field aggregates in the uh, process chain. If we forget to add this process, then the data will not be available for reporting at all. So for that purpose, we have to add it now itself. You have to give the object name for the in order to execute the rollup. There is a ZFD. The name of the info cube is the PLNG. Transfer these values, and you can see there are a few more options you can choose if you want. Roll up only those requests that were loaded some days ago, number of requests that you do not want to roll up. For example, if you don't want the latest request to be rolled up, you can give number one. If you give one request is always will not be roll up. So we don't need any of such things. We can roll up data as it comes. Save, continue. Okay. Well, it automatically took some DTP, which is from Z, which is from the DSO to cube. Here we manually created DTP, which is from DSO to cube again. So, however, the system automatically took one process, so we will delete our process. So there will be a process for compression. You have to give the info cube to be compressed and F4 and the name. And then you can see the no marker for inventory cube and zero value elimination are available. Two options. You can tick them if you want, or you can uncheck them if you don't want. So there is an option, and if you want to do, run the zero value elimination just like in the collapse tab we discussed before, you can tick the zero value elimination. And if you are doing the no marker update, this is useful for the inventory cubes. You can check this for the inventory cubes. So here our process chain is ready now. So what we have to do, we have to activate this process chain. So here we have a problem with the indexes, delete indexes, and the additional steps that are performance tuning steps, and this problem will be like we need to add a note, and that note will be for, here it says that it has to be behind process delete index, and that has to be behind another process, etc. But there is a error, and you have to apply the note in the system. Node type generate index process allowed behind process compress of the info queue. Let's check out this performance. So it is active. So in order to get those processes in line, we have to apply some SAP note, and after applying that note, those processes can be used. So now our process chain is available here, and we want to execute our process chain. I'm giving priority A, job priority A, and execute it. Let's see it in log. You can see this is pending, it is going on, this process. So it has loaded data to the info package, and it is loading data to the DTP, to the DSO. And the DTP is successful, activation of the DTP is also successful. DTP for info queue loading is under process. So you can see this process is success. Now we will see what happened in our data flow. This is the data flow we wanted to load.
Shahid,
Yeah.
when you say you apply the SAP note, what does that involve? And
SAP node will involve some patches.
is that
Basis people should install that patch in the system. So for the BI, so it will be all right. Like for performance tuning steps to be involved, it needs some additional patch. Like that, there will be some support packages. Support upgrades to be, those smaller upgrades are called SAP nodes. SAP nodes are two types. Either it is instructions, or it is the installation. So I will show you some sample SAP nodes. I guess I have shown it before. No?
So we don't have to do that, right?
there is a basis. I mean, generally, we have a part of that. Like these are the sample SAP note, and for any error, you have SAP note this one, and you have to check if you have some error. You have to go on Google and check for that error, and then SAP will give you the solution. Here, the summary, the symptom, and it will if this is your problem, then you will get the solution. The solution will be like this. And here this is not a patch installation, this is our part. As you can see, we have to change something here. By changing some setting we can do this. And sometimes it is not possible by changing the setting. We need to do the package upgrade. So some SAP nodes have some installation part as well. So that if it has some patch to be installed, some software to be installed, then that is done by basis people. If it doesn't have any software to be installed, and if it has some steps to be followed, then it is done by us.
But how do we know?
By reading the note, we can know that. No, here when you Google, you will get with your problem, you will get a SAP note. When you open this note, you have the inventory, for example, facts about the inventory. The symptom, a query with non-cumulative key figures does not display the expected values. This is what we have the problem. You want to find out whether the data in the cube is already wrong by using the transaction list cube. So since non-cumulative key figures are calculated during query runtime, they are not physically stored in the fact tables. You don't know how to derive the query results from the data in the cube. So if this problem is yours, if you have this problem, then you have to see the solution for this. And if you have and you have to follow the steps are given, some solution is given here. So if, if this one if this one is okay with your problem, and you are successful with this, then you don't have to do anything else. And if the problem still exists, then some team lead who will he will contact SAP, and he will find out some more steps, or they will suggest some software upgrade or something like that. So something will happen, some procedure will be followed. So like that, there are steps. That we might have to follow, or there are steps that. So here you can see for the invalid characteristics. Issue is invalid characteristics or SID generation. We are getting wrong data because of the invalid characteristics. What to do? Here the reason is this. Okay, we are getting system is not taking the characteristics like hash and space, etc. The solution is this. You have to go to RSKC and give the all cap, give this all cap in RSKC, and check whether it is working, etc., etc. The solution will be given like this. So that is about SAP nodes. So here we'll check the data flow, what happened, is it successfully loaded the data. You can see the data is successfully loaded with the help of process chain. And in DSO, we have data and we have the request activated as well. And in the info cube, so we have the request and it is also compressed the uh, request in info cube. So you can see 9,950 records transferred and 5,165 records added, and the request compressed. Everything is done automatically by the process chain. So there is the use of process chain. So there are processes like and or. For example, if you have a process chain and you have parallel processes, you have a start variant, say, and then you have DTP1, DTP2, and DTP3, and then you want to run the activate DSO, and then you want to run the cube. So here you have a start variant, you have DTP1, here by using AND operator you can load the another next process. So this is for DTP for the queue. Here you can see, and the AND operator is used as intermediate. So this is a condition if and only if all the DTPs are successful, then it has to update it to the further process, or else we want to stop it here. So for that purpose we can use AND operator. If you use OR operator, it means that if any of the DTP is successful, then further update the data to the any next process. So if any either 1, 2 or 3 is successful, it will continue with all the other processes. So that is the OR operator, use of OR operator. So we use AND and OR in our process chains for parallel processes generally. So that is about the operators, and we have meta chains. Meta chains are the process, there are more than one process chain. For example, you slowly create process chains like this, and one by one you have 3 4 process chains, and you want to create a meta chain. You will create a meta chain, like say like you will create a start variant, and you will create process chain 1, process chain 2. Like that you can add up any number of process chains in meta chain. So what will happen with this? You don't have to schedule any other process chains. You just keep all the process chains immediate, and you can add it to the meta chain start variant, and you can schedule the meta chain start variant. For example, you can schedule the meta chain for every day 9 o'clock, and then what will happen, you just come to office at 9 o'clock. You will just start this meta chain, and you will watch the process running, you will watch the data loading. So data will be loaded to the PC1, PC2, PC3, like that, any number of PCs available. So we will load the data in a sequence like sales, orders, billing, delivery. Like that we will load the data, we will sort the process chains in this manner, and we will drop the process chains in that manner. So here you have this view, right? So here, for example, I create new. You have to create a start variant. Here you can, for the meta chain, you can schedule something. If, for example, you have a periodic job, every day you have to load the data, and you have to schedule start date and start time. Say you want to start it from 15th of this month, and you want to start it at 9 o'clock, 9 a.m. Exactly when you come to the office, you want to schedule it. Like this, you will schedule the process start variant, and then you just have to drag and drop the process chains available. Say I have created one process chain, right? So this is the process chain we just have created, and just like that we can drag and drop any number of process chains. I will just take someone else's process chain here just to show you, and I'm dragging like this. I'm dragging as many as process chains as I want, and I will create a link, and then all these process chains will be this will be a meta chain, and I will come to the office at 9 a.m. and I will schedule, and once you execute it or once it is scheduled, you don't have to, watch it. It will, all the process chains will automatically be running and in a meta chain, and if you have any errors, if you have any problems, then only you will see that. So transaction codes are RSMO. This is to see all the loadings in the system, and this is for the monitoring purpose. RSPCM, here you will see the process chains. This is the process chain monitoring. Here you will see all the process chains that have failed and process chains that are successful, and from here you can directly double click on a process chain. For example, if you want to change this, you click on this and you can know the error and you can carry on with this. So that is about the process chains, and we are finished with this. Okay, I will see you later. Hello.
Yeah, yes, right.
Yeah.
Okay, bye.
Okay.